Today I am going to break down how much money I made my first year as a real estate agent. So first, a little bit about me. I am 27 years old and I found that the clients that I attracted were similar to me, later 20s, 30s, that sort of thing. And so I mainly worked with first-time home buyers. I live in Seattle, so I work in the Seattle market. The most inexpensive home that I sold was $399,000, and the most expensive home I sold was $1.4 million. But there was really everything in between, from $600,000 to $900,000, and my average price point ended up being right around $700,000. Real estate agents make money off of the commission of the sale of a home. The industry standard really has become, what I've seen, 2.5%. Agents are paid by the seller of a home, but it's not like I'm directly talking to the seller of a house like, hey, can I get my paycheck? It's nothing like that. When the home sells, escrow takes these funds and sends it to the brokerage. The brokerage splits it out and I get my paycheck by my brokerage sending me a check in the mail. So essentially you're getting around 2.5% of the purchase price of a home. Let's say on $1 million, that's $25,000. Seems pretty awesome, right? I mean, it is. That's a lot of money to get a $25,000 check like that. Most people don't get like these large checks in large amounts like that. So it's pretty crazy. And I see how thinking of it in that way gets a lot of people thinking, ooh, I want to become a real estate agent and get a $25,000 check, but it's not quite that easy. Now, you have to hang your license, they call it, with a brokerage, and your brokerage, being that it's processing everything for you, they take a percentage of your sale. This varies from brokerage to brokerage, from person to person at brokerages. People have totally different splits. So I'll tell you the split that I have is my brokerage takes 10% off the top of every house that I sold. From what I've seen, most brokerages, like, they need to make money off of you, and they are providing resources. From what I've seen, they'll range anywhere from taking about $16,000 from you up to $30,000 off of your yearly income. That's just what I've seen. So my split with my brokerage doesn't have a cap on it. It's just 10% off the top, which really isn't too bad. That's actually how my YouTube brand deals work as well with my agency. They take 10% off the top as well. And I also decided to join a team. Teams also have totally different splits, but when you're a part of a team, they take a portion. I'm not gonna go into details on the team split that I had this first year, just because I'd rather just keep that private. But what I will tell you is I did renegotiate my split to be something I thought was more fair, now that I'm not like such a beginner agent anymore. All right, now let's dive into how much money I made. I'm gonna break this up into quarters. So quarter one, January through March, I made $0. And that's because I was not yet licensed. I didn't get my license until March 1st I was licensed. But I will say quarter one, that January through March, since I knew what team I was joining, I was spending so much time studying for the exam and shadowing my team lead. In quarter two, everything did begin to pay off. Shortly after quarter one, I did end up selling my first house to my first ever client, Jeffrey. And once I got that momentum going, I ended up selling 8 houses this first quarter. And after all my splits and everything was said and done, I ended up making $102,367.93. Now, I was working so hard to the brink of just total exhaustion, but I made 6 figures in a quarter, which was crazy. According to a survey in 2013, almost 50% of realtors spent at least 40 hours a week at work. So based off this statistic, I can definitely attest to the fact that in this quarter, I was working 40 hours a week at the very minimum, at least. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting to figure out what my hourly rate was. So I divided that 102,000 and my hourly rate was $213 an hour. Pretty good. I don't know if that's really accurate, but I thought it was interesting. So going into the third quarter of July through September, I sold 6 houses and made $50,736 $2.54. Quarter three, I actually made half of what I made in quarter two. I think there's a couple factors going into this. First thing, the second quarter of the year was the beginning of spring, and that's when the market is the most lively. It's when the most buyers are out looking, and I had the most momentum in spring, and that's pretty common for the market and a lot of agents in general. Going into quarter three in the summer, I didn't feel like the momentum was slowing down a ton, but it kind of was because we were in the thick of summer and I worked with mainly buyers, and I found that people, although housing is so important, they found that a day on the lake or going on vacation or things like that was just more important. And so in the summer, people did tend to get a little bit distracted from the home buying process, where in spring I found my buyers and sellers were a little bit more motivated at times. The second thing was, after having such a big quarter right before that, I did not really have time to be prospecting anymore because I was so busy working with clients. Like, I was barely uploading YouTube videos, so I wasn't getting as many leads coming in. But still, $50,000 in a quarter is something to be proud of. That's $16,000 a month, so I was still happy with it. And then for quarter four, the last quarter of the year, October through December, I made $42,704 and sold 6 homes again. So again, a bit of a lower number there. The last quarter of the year is kind of tough though, going into bad weather, shorter days in terms of daylight. I did still sell 6 houses in this time, but again, the purchase prices were kind of a bit lower. So with all of that said, my grand total for my first year in real estate, I made $195,847.22 in my first year starting a new industry. I'm pretty proud of that. I don't think a lot of people can just jump into a totally different industry and break 6 figures their first year. So I'm super proud of that. I am. So how did I do it? I do want to give you guys some advice on how I was able to do that, because you could maybe do it too. I think there's a couple things that were really working for me. Number one, I got all of my leads through YouTube. Yes, all through YouTube, and this is actually something that I want to help other real estate agents out there do, because it was so rewarding. Making content is so much fun, and then having people reach out from it was really cool, and it's really great leads that come through. It's people that already know they want to work with you. My brain is stewing on creating some sort of like coaching for agents out there. I don't think making a course is enough. I think it needs to be a little more hands-on, something where I can critique someone's channel and stuff like that, because I really want people to be successful in it. Like, I'm actually so passionate about that idea. And so if you are an agent and you are watching this and you are interested in getting leads through YouTube and learning the ropes of doing all of that, I don't have anything ready to go yet, but I will have in the description, you can put your info into like a mailing list, and I'll keep your info. So when I do have coaching or whatever it entails ready to go, you can know about it. YouTube was huge for me. I had probably over 100 inquiries in my first year of people reaching out wanting to buy a house. And granted, a lot of the people don't actually perform on that. You know, they want to get on a call, they maybe want to buy, and then people change their minds, they end up renting or this and that. Like, the conversion rate is not 100%, but you have to expect that going into it. But I always, every week, have people emailing me wanting to hop on a call, wanting to learn about the process of buying a house, and I got the opportunity to be the one they thought of and work with, which is super cool. But getting leads means nothing if you don't know how to operate as a good agent, close deals, write good contracts, all of those things. So I think another reason I was able to be so successful is because I joined a team. I think if you're a new agent, it's super smart to join a team, because real estate is really tough in the fact that it's like houses. It's these big structures, and weird things go wrong. Septic tanks getting decommissioned, new sewer line, rats in the attic, a leaking roof. Like, I dealt with literally all of these things in my first year. It's things you have to navigate and decide, is it worth it for my client to offer on this? Like, what should we do about it? Is this a big deal? Is this not a big deal? Things that just take time and experience in the industry dealing with it. And you're only gonna get that if you join a team where there's experienced agents that have dealt with these sort of things, and they're gonna know how to help you navigate it with your clients and what's ultimately going to be best for your clients. Like, could I have closed a lot of these deals myself? Yes, probably, but I would have been flying blind, like had no idea what I was doing, and ultimately I could have misguided my clients. So that's another reason I just thought ethically, like there's no way someone A, would want to work with me brand new, not knowing what I was doing, and B, they shouldn't. Even if they're dumb enough to do it, they shouldn't. I'm just a huge advocate for being on a team because I think that's what's best for the consumer too. There's great agents out there though that do it solo too, and I applaud them because that sounds so hard as well. All in all, I definitely made more money my first year in real estate than I expected to make. But I also worked a lot harder than I expected. Yes, I had YouTube to help me, and that was my whole strategy. You know, I got a comment that was like, well, you're so lucky that you sold 20 homes. And I don't think luck is like the appropriate word to use. I'm fortunate that I spent so much time building a YouTube channel, but that was my strategy all along. I wanted to get into real estate because I knew that I could convert YouTube to leads, and it's not luck. I didn't just flip a coin and land myself a YouTube channel with 1 million subscribers. Like, I worked really hard for that too, so it only makes sense that I was able to make a new extension of my business. But like, you can do it too. I know you can do it too. I know so many people, even with a brand new YouTube channel, I feel so confidently that you could do this too. I think a lot of people out there could get into this and be great at it and love it and be successful in their first year, and then the opportunities are endless in real estate. Like, there's kind of no ceiling on how much you could grow and make your own team and all of these things and get to a point, you know, where you're just making a great income. I mean, a lot of people want to be financially free in that way, and I think real estate is a way that you can do that. And so thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you want more real estate related content, I will have a playlist below, or you can click here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.